Hi, Redeemer. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to continue the little mini series on what does Donovan do all week. And so I went through my job description, which I can email to any of you who would like. And we've talked about vision, leadership development, teaching, gatherings. I have two more. This one is church planting. So, as a church, we want to see more churches, right? Because, well, that's how God works through the world, through his believers gathered together, working together, loving one another, loving the world on mission. And so churches don't come out of nowhere. Churches come from churches. So you may have not been around churches that plant churches in the past. Some of that has, in the U.S., there's been seasons of more or less church planting. But we are involved with a community of churches that plant churches. So realistically, every church is a church plant at some point, right? Redeemer Cedar Rapids was started as Imago Christi 12 years ago or so, or 14 years ago, really. And I came a little bit after that. I've been here 12 years and kind of replanted the thing. Redeemer Cedar Falls was planted as Cayo Church several years ago. And then we ended up merging with them and becoming multi-site, one church in two locations. Since then, we've had the pleasure of planting our own church from the inside of Redeemer. We sent the Dikeys to Des Moines several years ago, and they are now planting what would be our granddaughter church in Clinton with the Powells. Nick and Holly Powell just headed out there to plant a church. We are preparing to send Michael and Allie Van Wordheisen out of the Cedar Falls campus to go to Denver and start a church there. So those are homegrown, right, inside of our own church plants that have grown and been sent out. But we also partner. Formerly used to partner with Acts 29. We partner with the SBC, what's their church planting arm, which is called the North American Mission Board. You may or may not know, I actually do part-time work for them, a few hours a week. And that includes helping find, assess, train, send other planters that not just within our church, but outside. Like, for example, today I'll be driving to Manchester, Iowa to meet with a new church start there and talk about partnership with NAM or SBC and see what that might look like. So there's other ways that we've partnered. We've given money, we've prayed, we've trained. There's a couple other church plants that I'm involved with right now, at least just in terms of helping encourage and build relationship with the SBC. There's my buddy Rob Berkowitz is planting the Journey Church in Waterloo. So that's a new church there. You can find that online and find out more about what they're about and what they're doing. So historically, we've just planted churches and worked with other church plants, but that also includes overseas a partnership with New Life Mission Churches in India. They're planting churches, tons of churches, and we want to learn from them and work with them and be an encouragement to them. And so realistically, Joe Brinkman really is kind of the key contact there, and with that arm of our church planting efforts. But I was integral in the beginning of that, especially of just helping develop Redeemer's global strategy and what does it look like. So again, a lot of these things, like I've had my hands into different degrees, and now we have other staff that help or take the lead in those things. So that'd be Joe, particularly with the global stuff. So we just want to see churches planted, right? We train young people up to go out. So, that's part of what I do throughout the week. So I have one more of these next week. It's the least spiritual sounding one. And that's why I saved it for last. But it's an important part of what I do for the church, I believe. So there it is, a little more insight to what I do all week. All right, see you later.